Hello and welcome to the latest Epic Universe construction update. It's been a bit since we've taken a tour of the Epic Universe construction site, but I'm excited to check out the progress in the park as we are likely approaching less than a year from this park opening. But before we jump into this update, for those perhaps unaware, Epic Universe is a brand new theme park coming to Universal Studios Florida and is currently set to open in 2025, but my hunch is it is before the summer of 2025.
You don't know.
Epic Universe is located just 2 miles south of Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure in Orlando, Florida. And this new park will include brand new lands themed to How to Train Your Dragon, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Universal Monsters, and my personal favorite, Super Nintendo World. So there's a lot to check out, so let's not waste any time. And as usual, let's start our update off by heading into the Dark Universe. And over at the entrance portal to the land, there are concrete forms at the portal of the land, so we can also see there are poles being installed for walkway lighting as well. And the colorful walkway at the entrance has made a lot of progress since our last visit, and we can see the current status of the Celeste Tiki Bar, which is the circular building on the left. And here is the current status and look at the Curse of the Werewolf spinning roller coaster. Now these photos were taken during ongoing ride testing, and for those that aren't familiar with this ride, it'll be similar to the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, as the cars will spin on the ride. And over at the Dark Manor, we can see most of it is under heavy scaffolding yet again, as the exterior work is getting closer to being completed. We can also see purple is starting to come through color-wise, and when we look at the concept art, we can see that there will be a good mix of purple and black color theming all throughout this area. We can see on the entrance to the Dark Manor some lettering has appeared, but I can't quite tell what it says in this picture, but if you think you have a guess, please let us know in the comments. And in this picture in the bottom left near the Dark Manor, we can see progress on this small shop that has been making its progress right along with the manor, and it's coming along nicely with its exterior theming getting closer to being completed. And in the extended queue of the Dark Manor, this area looks like it's almost complete, and now there are tons of trees in this area, so it's not likely we'll be able to see much in this area as these trees continue to grow. And in the village in the Dark Universe, we now have a name for this area, as it was revealed in the Epic Universe Preview Center that is now open at City Walk, that the village is called Darkmoor. Lots of progress happening each update here, and we're able to see that there is now a bell tower being worked on, among other details in this area. Alright, that's it for the Dark Universe. Let's head over into the Wizarding World, as much of the land here is still under heavy scaffolding, but we are able to see some progress in this land peeking through. Here at the extended queue of the unnamed Ministry of Magic attraction, we can see work is continuing in this area. And in the entrance portal courtyard, we can see that this area is now very thick with trees, as much of Epic Universe is as well. And this is where guests will come through the entrance portal, and then the Port Saint-Denis will be revealed along with the streets of Paris. And at the entrance portal, we can get a good look at the mural that is on the wall near the entrance to the land, and how trees and walls will help with the reveal of the full-sized streets of Paris. And taking an overhead look at the land, most of the facades are behind scaffolding for additional detailing, and most of the streets are also paved, being covered with protective sheeting now. And in this view, we can see at the center is the tent frame for the entrance of the theater attraction in this land, and it's making a little bit of progress each time we check in over here. And checking in on the unnamed Ministry of Magic attraction yet again, we can see this area is under heavy scaffolding, and the streets again have this protective covering on them to protect the concrete from the construction equipment. But that's really about it over in this land. But let's jump over into Super Nintendo World, where we can see a lot of progress that is happening over here, and it's easy to see all the color that is popping out in this land. Now, the pavement progress and theming in the Donkey Kong Country section is looking great and showing how much character and theming this land is going to have. I just have to ask, when is the last time you saw an attraction get this much theming, from down to the flooring, to the coaster itself, to everything around it? I'm very impressed with the amount of theming and color we're seeing in this area. Now in this photo, we can also see at 1, a recently added frame for a kiosk, and nearby is a winding path for team member access to the other kiosk. At 2 is framing in progress for Funky Kong's airplane, and at 3 is a frame for a wall that will hide the view of other Epic Universe areas from guests inside Donkey Kong Country. The progress on the temple and waterfall area of Minecart Madness is looking great as well, and here we can see the car launches from the barrel to the trestle at the left, and the minecarts will be leaping over a stream above the waterfall here. And this is a great view of the character face behind scaffolding that is at the top of the waterfall and will look like this once completed. Now over in the splashdown part of Minecart Madness, we can see at 1, cars will splash through this water feature area. At 2 is the waterfall that is the primary source of water to the feature. And 3, we have staging at Rockwork that seems to be another source of water. And there's also some lighting in this area being installed as well. And in this photo, we can see at the center is a recently sculpted rockwork around the tracks that has been recently added since the last update. And here's the current paint and theming of the main exterior temple wall. Now jumping over into the Mushroom Kingdom, we can see a lot of color is popping in this area as well near Bowser's Fortress. And here's the current progress on Mount Beanpole, and we can see on Yoshi's Adventure that the temporary fencing has come down, which means ride testing is likely completed. And also at the arrow, we can see a Goomba. And we can see some theming in progress near Yoshi's Adventure where a piranha plant is wrapped in plastic and some power-up blocks are being worked on as well. And here is what will be a power-up band challenge where a Goomba will walk on the green cylinder at the center. We can also see 2 piranha plants wrapped in plastic above. And over at Peach's Castle, the theming in this area is coming along since our last update. Now, one thing about the Mushroom Kingdom, it is going to be a multi-level land. So here is a great look into the courtyard of the land, which will be the central area of the Mushroom Kingdom and in Super Nintendo World. And in the courtyard here, we can see at the cylinder is the entrance of the highly anticipated Toadstool Cafe. All right, that's about it over here for Super Nintendo World. Let's head over into the Isle of Berk on the How to Train Your Dragon land to check out the progress over here. Now over here at Dragon Racers Rally, most of the scaffolding has been removed from the themed grandstands, and taking a closer look at some of the dragons and dragon houses, we can see lots of details and color emerging in this area. And looking a little over the top of the grandstands, we can see at the arrow where there is a throne to watch the competition. Now, a cool part of the grandstands is that the Hiccups winged gliders will also be going through the stands, so the whole area here is going to have a lot of kinetic energy with Dragon Racers Rally running and the roller coaster cruising by. Also near the entrance of Dragon Racers Rally, there are a pair of sheep staged, and each is wrapped in plastic and also inside a clear plastic enclosure. And over at the Viking Training Camp play area, structures are being added at the same time as some trees. Now this whole area is really starting to come to life and looks like it'll be a great area for kids to enjoy. At the first launch of Hiccup's Wing Gliders, there is some recently added theming at the top of this photo, and it seems like the story here has some large rocks that will be dropped to propel the roller coaster train. And we saw in this area in the last update, but a few of you commented that this area of pavement is likely where the flying dragons that will be part of the land will be based, and I think that's probably correct and what this will be used for. And here's the current status of the launch station over at Hiccup's Wing Gliders. Now theming on the roof continues, and there looks to be a tent being constructed on the left side in the ride queue, and also there are some more trees recently planted in this area. And we have some temporary pools set up for testing of splash effects for when Hiccup's Wing Gliders cruise near the water in the bay to give the splash effect as if it's hitting the water. Now over in the bay, it's dry again in here, and it looks like there has been some floor work being done. And if we look at the right, that Viking ship that was unthemed for the longest time looks to be completed now, and it looks great. And the mountain above Mead Hall is looking good, and the building next to Mead Hall looks like its exterior theming is well underway as well. And checking in on the family boat ride in the land Fire Drill, we can see the ride is definitely getting close to completed, and ride testing may be completed on it. We can also see in the queue area of the ride, there are more tent structures that look to be under construction in this area as well. And here's perhaps the best look we've had at the boats that are part of the Fire Drill water ride. Many of the boats have arrived recently and are being assembled for use in the ride, and it looks like each boat has a mix of shield graphics on the sides as well. And at the theater show in the land called the Untrainable Dragon, we can see some exterior work is ongoing on the entrance and exit areas of the theater. All right, that does it over here in How to Train Your Dragon land, but let's head over into Celestial Park to check out the progress in this area. Now we do have some news and progress to check out in this area, as the news is that Universal recently changed the name of Starfall Racers to Stardust Racers, and the reason for that change was because Starfall Education Foundation had filed a lawsuit in the Colorado District Court claiming that Universal was using the Starfall name for, quote, brand misappropriation toward children. Now, the case was due to be heard during a conference call with both parties on July 30th, 2024. But Universal made the decision to just change the name to Stardust Racers before that happens. And given this ride isn't based on an IP, I feel like that was a pretty simple and easy move for Universal to make, and in my opinion, doesn't really change anything about the attraction. Other than I'm going to have to get used to saying Stardust Racers after I've been saying Starfall Racers for, well, over a year now. Now, in terms of progress to report, if you remember from the concept art how there is fog in the tunnel part of the ride, we can now see that there is in fact fog in the tunnel now being tested on the first launch. And Stardust Racers is still undergoing ride testing, as we can see in this photo, and the comet theming element has scaffolding recently added for more exterior theming work to be done on this element. And at the extended queue of Stardust Racers, we can see at 1, fog leaving the first launch tunnel. At 2 is staging of yellow and green elements. At 3, we have a service road crossover of the queue. And at 4 is some landscaping in progress. Now, moving further into Celestial Park, we can see over at the show fountain in front of the Helios Grand Hotel that we have some water features coming to life in the shape of a compass over some cascading water over rocks here. And the fountain is now filled with water for testing, as they've been working on the fountain features a lot in the past few updates, and I can say I'm very excited to see what type of show this fountain is going to put on here. And again, we can see workers in this photo to give us an idea of just how big this fountain is to give it some scale. Moving further into Celestial Park, we can see Constellation Carousel is making some great progress, and here in this photo we can see a panel is being lowered to be installed. We can also see some of the windows on the roof have been installed as well. There's also water in the pond area, so we're getting a great look at what this ride will look like once completed. And the themed railings are being installed along the outside of the ride as well. And with water in the pond, we can also see the progress of the splash pad area over here called Astronomica, where you can play with dancing fountains. And the most recent building under construction in Celestial Park is a restaurant that is making some good progress since our last visit. And like the other areas of Celestial Park, there is water in the water features for testing, including the area around the Atlantic restaurants. And over the entrance area of Epic Universe, we can see archways have recently been added at the sides of the portal, and work continues on the Chronos and the tower above the portal. And when we compare this to the concept art, we can definitely see how this is coming together and looking just like the concept art. Now, something to note when looking at the entrance Chronos is the yellow parts that you're seeing as it goes vertical. Those are temporary structures that will not be part of the final Chronos. But just like all the other areas of Epic Universe, this entrance area is finally starting to come to life, and we're seeing that Chronos begin its vertical ascent. All right, staying in Celestial Park, let's check out the progress of the Helios Grand Hotel. And here we can see the domes on top of the Helios Grand Hotel are coming along very nicely. And on the park-facing side of the hotel, we can see some more colors are popping, and the circular element that we saw in the concept art has been recently placed. We can also see here at the top floor where the lounge and ballroom area will be for some amazing views of the park, fireworks show, and more. Now, this view of the hotel is one of the best ones I've seen, as it's looking great. The colors look awesome, the windows, and I'm just really excited to see what this is going to look like, especially at night with the fountain show and fireworks show going on. And speaking of fireworks, here is a shot of the peninsula behind Helios where the fireworks launch site will be. And staying over here at Helios, we can see here on the current progress of the pool and recreation area here. And we can also see the bus transportation stations that are just out in front of the hotel. Now, I'm very curious what you're going to be able to hear park noise wise and transportation wise in the pool area, given they are so close to high traffic areas. Now, before we go, let's check on the progress on the 2 hotels that will sit just outside of Epic Universe, the Stella Nova and Terra Luna resorts. Over at the Terra Luna, here is the current status of the pool construction over here, and also over at the Stella Nova resort, we have a bit more progress with some palm trees being placed in its pool area. And in terms of their colorful reflective tiles, which these hotels will feature, the Stella Nova has basically been completed for a while, but over at the Terra Luna, we are slowly but surely making progress on the tiles, and it is soon to be done. But this one is opening later than the Stella Nova, so I don't think they're in any huge rush to get the tiles completed, as the hotel isn't opening for another 6 months or so. All right, that's going to do it for this Epic Universe construction update. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel before you go. And as always, we will be doing more Epic Universe news updates, land previews, and construction updates as work on this new park continues. And also here at Capture the Magic, we have informational videos to help you stay up on the latest happenings with Disney World and Universal Studios. And if you want even more Universal Studios and Disney World information, you can check out the Capture the Magic podcast, where we share tips, reviews, money-saving strategies, and more. You can find the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts and also here on YouTube over at CTM Podcast. All right, given we are probably less than a year away from Epic Universe opening, I'm curious if your predictions on when Epic Universe will open have changed. I'm kind of leaning toward earlier than the summer of 2025. I really don't have anything to back that up. It's just kind of the way the progress of the park is setting up and how it's kind of looking to me. But let us know what you think in the comments. And until next time, we will see you in the parks.